Welcome to Health Hits Experience, the lamp aisle in the home improvement store. I'm the librarian, and with me are two color-changing light bulbs. Welcome to the show. What color are you?
I am chartreuse.
Oh, okay.
And in order to rhyme, I will be puce.
Oh, great. Excellent. Terrible color names. I hate them immediately.
Fantastic.
So good. You may notice that we are down 2 players. We're not going to address it. We're going to move on. Let's go. Time to roll right into the recap of last session. So here we go. In the Clock Underground, 4 fairies learn some things about each other. They learn that Hack and Slash is magically prohibited from causing conscious harm to another fairy, and that he has committed no crime. They learn that 2 still has broken ribs, and they learn that the paperclip sword connects the last 2 things it has touched together. After Broker tries to kill the fairy named Cedar and Tenerife steps in, Tenerife and Cedar head off to see Doc to try to heal the kingdom-flung fae. This leaves 2, Hack and Slash, Broker, and Toddler No alone. This is the perfect time to retest 2's bag, and Hack and Slash becomes the one to do it. Imagination runs wild in the bag, which leads to inconclusive results. It also leads to a conversation about if they want to stay with Tenerife, with Broker revealing some of their history. Afterwards, 2 wanders off only to get jumped by a gang known as the Copper Fangs. There is an unknown spell placed upon 2 who angers the matriarch. The eye thimble going off because Broker and Hack and Slash are looking for 2 unleashes a series of events that ends with 2 becoming Candy Cross-Faded, which I'm going to put on the board now. Drugs. Okay, so we split the party last session, and the benefit of fate is that is not necessarily a negative thing. I personally think it's an interesting story development. But we kind of have 2 alone, and everybody else is doing their own thing. So today, Rob is going to be playing somebody else. If you want to introduce your new character for today.
Yes, so today I will be playing a member of the Rodentia species that can be found throughout the library periodically. His name is Rizzo, and he is a slightly seedy-looking mouse. He tries to put on airs of being somewhat better off than he is, but his clothes, while fashionable, are very threadbare, and just an air of, like I said, seediness about him that anyone can pick up on.
You want to buy a watch?
Yeah.
Okay. So, anything else we want to talk about before I roll into where we left to?
No, let's go.
Let's go. Okay, I want to start here and see if this is the right atmosphere. It might be the right atmosphere. Okay, so to kind of go over where we were, where we last left two was offered some gum and immediately had that flung back in his face.
Yeah, he offered it for trade. You know.
And Myra said, I'm going to use this to control you even further. So, as evidence with Tenerife, the effects of sugar are pretty immediate.
Yep.
Doesn't take that long. And I imagine this is the first time that 2 has ever really partaken.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely traded it a few times, but never really messed with it one way or another.
Yeah. Was this something that, like, you knew not to mess with, or was just like, eh?
It was like, you know, it's worth more to trade than it is to actually take.
Yeah.
So
That's the best way to be, is the dealer that doesn't use their own supply.
So
That's how you make money.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, you're not losing anything. So it kicks in, and you feel weird, I think. Why don't you tell me how 2 is high for the first time? And actually, I want to be clear. We said cross-faded, so like not even just high. But like, woof, it's all hitting.
Yeah. So I feel like 2 all at once is everything is incredibly clear, but also things are almost moving slower. So it's very hard to really get a grasp on anything that's happening other than right in front of him.
Yeah, for sure. Well, what's happening right in front of you is Myra with her beautiful copper curls and her very stern but almost loving face is right in front of you. And she is telling you, and I don't know if maybe you hear her voice differently or whatever, but she is telling you what she wants you to do right now. Which is that she wants you to go to the top of the clock tower.
Okay.
And get a spider's egg. Maybe some web if you're, up for it.
Okay.
So, and I don't know, like if it's really like garbled like underwater, but the direction comes through.
Yeah.
However it comes to you. She says it all and then you reprocess it. I don't know. However two is feeling this. But that's what she's asked of you.
Yes.
But it's really not an ask.
No.
It's really a like, it'll get worse from here if you don't do this. So that's kind of where we find ourselves here. So she's kind of given you the push to go to the top of the clock tower. She said she'll have some of the Copper Fangs trailing you if you need it, but they won't be able to go up the clock tower with you. And kind of pushed you out of the warehouse.
Great.
Yep. So.
Oh boy.
Yep. That's where we find ourselves. The thing about the underground. We're in the clock underground, and I've all of my aspects. So there's 3 big aspects of the clock underground. 4. There's 4. I can't count.
There's 4.
Right? Yes.
One more than 3.
Okay.
All right.
So it is full of criminal tourists.
Great.
A lot of people that come to the clock underground are looking to get up the clock tower.
Sounds like a bunch of friends who just aren't friends yet.
The clock underground, and this is something that Mahogany and Red kind of told you, is that it's run by, right now they're dealing with 3 different gangs.
Okay.
They formed when the tourists started arriving, trying to get up the clock tower. There's also lots of roundabouts. I described earlier that it's kind of built in gear shape layouts. So there's lots of just like circular areas that you can go in, and there'll be like stores and homes and stuff around the outside, and I don't know, some plants or something in the middle. Okay. I don't know if I've run out of space for the camera to see. I don't actually know how far out the camera can see, so I'm gonna hope for the best here. We're gonna move William. He's gonna go over here. Also hey God, my lights aren't on. So also the other aspect of the clock underground is the encroaching darkness. Mahogany and Red told you this, that they're dealing with their builder who keeps the lights on is not able to keep up with how much it's expanded in the past couple years. So there is places where it looks like it should be lit where it's just dark.
Gotcha.
So that's where you find yourself now.
Okay.
And you're crossfaded.
And crossfaded on top of it.
So the Copper Fangs are with you right now. We'll say Flicker, the one that was really eyeballing you, is like still eyeballing you. Like,
fair enough.
What's going on? But they all know that they can't accompany you all the way to the clock tower. There's something about, and maybe this is not information that you were given, but there's something about the clock tower as it is that they don't have the capability to get up there.
Okay.
So we'll kind of leave that there.
All right.
So that's where we find ourselves now.
Great.
Where would you like to go? What would you like to do?
Well, we're gonna look at it and be like, okay, I know you all are supposed to watch me, and you can do that, whatever that looks like to you all. I work better when I am at least seemingly alone. If you can a few steps back. Please.
It just kind of fades away. They're really cool about it. They look really neat.
Okay.
They fade into the shadows, and you see the glint of the copper off of their fang. Ding! So they fade into the background.
Tunaz is like, all right. I okay.
And starts looking around to see if... Looking, even in his, like, very confused state, to see if there are any, like, back ways to get up.
Oh,
And
sure.
then also, like, any people who look like they know what they're doing.
Okay. Yeah.
In any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll say that before you left, Myra whispered in your ear like the shortcut that everybody takes.
Okay.
But I'm gonna say that if you wanted to go that shortcut, you're going to have to either roll a 5 or take a fate point because I'll invoke Candy Cross Faded.
Roll a 5 even for what? Like,
Investigate or notice.
um,
Again, I know this is not how the game is. The game is that I should just make you take the fate point, but I think those are fun options. So
I'll just
All right.
just take the
take
fate
the
point.
fate point. So you blink a few times, and it seems like the weird cobblestone suddenly rips and rolls, and you see that the shadows feel like they're moving, and they've got like little inky fingers that creep along the
Just,
top
like,
and the
trying
bottom.
to look upwards and be like, what? How am I supposed to function? But this is okay. Not getting anywhere. Like,
Yeah.
and starts wandering into like more crowded, civilized
Sure.
areas at this point, because not getting anywhere just in the back areas, plus the fingers are a little bit creepy.
Yeah. It's all in your head.
Yeah,
but it's still weird looking.
It's weird looking.
Yeah.
Don't like it.
Don't
Even
like
being
it.
able to be like, nope, that's not real, but still very hard to see.
Yeah. Cool. So you wander around. You trying to do anything other than just like follow the crowds?
Following the crowds a bit, but also trying to see if there are any like more main thoroughfares to go up. to,
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. So where you're at, I think, is maybe like a circle within a circle kind of deal. So you can take curves and come back around to get closer to where the wagon was parked and like back to the main thoroughfare kind of deal. Although the wagon was off to the side, so like, but ideally.
Wagon's also not there anymore. They moved.
Yeah, they
so.
oh, absolutely. But the direction
Yeah.
of like going back to where you came from.
Okay.
I think that's going to be for you to get quickly where you're going to go. I think you'd need to overcome it a 4.
Great. Let's go.
Because otherwise, I think it's just going to be difficult because it's an area you're not familiar with, and you're fucking crossfaded out of your mind.
Crossfaded out of my mind.
And you don't know what's a general direction people are going. Are they
Nope.
going this way because they want to? Or are they going this way because this is where we go back to the clock tower? Why do we go to the clock tower? Like these kind of things.
Oh boy. Okay. No, that's a 0.
Oh no. Okay.
It's a 0, so 2 is just like, this. What?
What?
I feel like after a bit of just possibly becoming more lost, 2's gonna start trying to climb one of the buildings or the
Oh,
side.
okay,
He's just
sure.
like, I don't know where I am. I don't know what everything's going on. Height equals being able to see.
Sure.
So,
Yeah, absolutely.
gonna try that for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Is
No, I don't think that's going to stop you. I think you can climb up. I
Okay.
think that it's difficult. You've got broken ribs.
Yeah.
So it's not fun.
not pleasant.
It's there, but it gets you up high. Absolutely. What do you see?
Are there? You said there are like different buildings and stuff around there. At least some people
Yeah.
around. Going to first look and see if he can see any of the friends, which is probably a little bit harder because I feel like they wouldn't stick out as much here as elsewhere. Looking for
The cart.
the
Beetles,
carts, the
yeah.
beetles,
Yeah.
anything. Not probably seeing any of that. Probably also the people just look a little bit funky.
They do look funky. We've got top hats and we've got goggles and we've got vests and we've got tailcoats and we've got ruffle skirts and lots of gears on people's bodies. So they look interesting and different, but certainly not anybody you recognize.
Great.
I do think one of the Copper Fangs comes out of the shadows and like maybe you see like a glint before they're like at the building looking up where you are, just trying to like be nonchalant about like keeping an eye on you. They're not coming up with you.
No,
but
they're just
like,
kind of watching and just like,
what the fuck?
and he's gonna. Are there any places that I don't even know, like, look like there's a map? You can get a map. You can get something.
No, I
No,
think
nothing.
because this is a city. Ooh, lordy. I think this is because this is a city that has expanded a lot over the last 5 years. Like anybody that tries to map it in a year, it's obsolete.
Need a dedicated map maker.
We do. We don't really have that many cartographers in this world.
No.
It's not really a job that people seem to want to take on.
All right, 2 is going to at least try to pinpoint some place where there are more Fae than like anywhere else. Like there's a fairly large number of
Yeah.
people there, and is gonna start heading towards that
Climb
direction.
down
yeah.
You climb down. And you're like, ow, 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 ow.
Sucks.
This fucking sucks. Do you swear? Does Stu swear?
No, she doesn't swear.
I just want to see if that was in canon.
Liz swears, 2 doesn't.
Oh, interesting canon to know. Okay. Yeah, I think we find there's a group of people. Why don't we say they're all gathered around the mouse?
Sure.
They're all very clearly new tourists. None of them are like, they don't look comfortable in this area. A lot of them are in different styles of clothes rather than the clothes of the Clock Underground. And they're all gathered around the small mouse, the same size as you,
Okay.
who seems to be pitching something.
Step right up. Here we have the greatest tour guide in all of the Clock Underground here, ready to take you on a tour of this lovely place. You do not want to be wandering around by yourself without an expert here. No. You need somebody who knows the ins and outs of the Clock Underground to take you around and show you the sights, and you can see where all the greatest crimes have happened. You can see where all of the gangs have their turf lines set up. You can see all of the wonderful criminal underground types of things that tourists interested in crime would come to the Clock Underground to see. Hurry. Step right up for a very, very small fee. Hello, yes, sir, madam. Come right up here, and yes, if you will just pay me a few bits of cashola, I would gladly take you on a tour of this place. No, don't walk away. No. How about you, sir? You look like somebody who could definitely see the sights of this place as shown to you by an expert. No, you, my blue friend.
Hello.
You look like someone who wants a tour of the Clock Underground, and I am the greatest tour guide you are going to find here.
All right. You're the first one I found. Just curious, how far does your tour go?
Well, it depends on what sights you want to see.
How about to the very top?
Well, of course, we can arrange for a tour to not many requests to go all the way up to the top. You know, it's a rather difficult, dangerous trek. But if you are going to attempt to make such a dangerous trek, you would need an expert to guide you. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Rizzo, and I am the greatest tour guide you are going to find here in the Clock Underground. And, well, my normal fee would be for tour around the generally acceptable areas. But if you wish to hire a guide to get you all the way up to the top, well, that's going to cost you a bit extra. But certainly you will find that not only are my prices extremely reasonable, they are also the only ones you're going to find, because nobody else is going to do that.
All right. I've heard that the view is the best up there, so, and I love getting to the highest places I possibly can. Anywhere
Really?
in Diction. Yep.
Well, then you are coming to the right place, because that's about as high up as you can get in this general part of the world.
Well, sounds perfect. As far you said payment, what would you be interested in?
Well, what have you got?
I have a wide assortment of things. I do see, it looks like your outfit is, a little bit wanting. I have some very nice.
He looks extremely offended.
I have some very nice fabrics that could bring it up to the next level.
From where?
The scrap pieces of fabric that I got from the.
They're not in your bag?
They are.
You don't have your bag.
You didn't give the bag back?
No.
Oh, I thought the bag was back.
No.
Oh, gosh.
Absolutely not.
Okay, well.
You go to reach in your bag and you're like,
I don't have my bag with me. I do apologize. But I do have to let you know that I have this bag that has so many different things in there, and once we get up there, I can give you.
So wait, you're trying to tell me that you have a bag full of treasures.
Yes,
But you don't have it with you.
this is correct.
But once we get all the way up there, then you're going to be able to give it to me? The bag is up there?
Well, the bag is not up there. You would have to come accompany me back down as well. I know it seems a little bit odd, but
Buddy. Don't try to scam a scammer, all right? I know what's going on here.
I mean, you said it yourself. You are a scammer.
No. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. All
No,
right.
no. You already said you were a scammer, but I do appreciate that you do need a few things. I'm very good at picking things up along the way. I'm probably one of the best. So if there's something that you've been eyeing along the way, I could get it for you.
Interesting. He looks around at the crowds that are milling around and does a little quick calculation and sees that business is not going well for him today. There's nobody biting on what he's selling, and I'll tell you what. If you are interested in possibly acquiring some things along the way and passing them along to your new best friend Rizzo, we might be able to come to an arrangement along those lines.
All right.
In addition, I am still going to want to have a look through your little bag once we get back.
The bag, the only offer from that bag does stand for the fabrics so far. Unless you want to
Fabrics.
discuss.
Well, now fabrics don't do me a lot of good because I don't know how to make clothes out of fabric.
Well,
so
I
what
can-
am I supposed to do there?
I can also help you with that.
He looks down at his clothes, which are again they're stylish, but they are obviously very old and threadbare and picked out of a rag bin or whatever. And well, there's certainly nothing wrong with my current wardrobe, but I am always on the lookout for some new fancy duds. So I think that could be mutually agreed upon.
Sounds wonderful.
Then let us go.
All right. Lead the way.
Oh, yeah. Right. Very well. Follow me. And he, does a little abrupt heel turn, with his little tails on his little suit coat flap behind him a little bit there, fly out, and he starts marching, kind of almost promenading along the way,
I love it.
Two follows behind, looking around a little bit and looking around a little bit, realizing that everything is still moving around and being like, okay, forward.
Yep. All right. So you know where we're going?
Up. You said you wanted
Yes.
to go up.
Yes. You know how to get up there.
who knows better how to climb up a clock than a mouse?
I. Sure?
Very well. And he says, come this way, and starts making his way towards what would be a fairly obvious way, because while I think 2 is probably, cross-faded enough not to tip to this right away, this mouse has no idea how they'll
Okay.
He has the
excellent.
air of confidence
Yeah.
that any successful grifter would have.
Yeah.
but,
You're confident, man. She was like, all right, let's go.
Let's go. Okay. Well, then, so how much of your speech was a lie? All of it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Totally. I mean,
Excellent.
he literally gets people to pay him to do tours. He takes them and he ditches them in the first dark alley he
Yeah,
can and comes
yeah.
back out to get more tourists. I mean, that's his racket.
I
okay?
love that. Okay.
But since 2 did not have any cash to pay him up front, so he's taken a flyer here. So he has to actually kind of carry through to at least get you somewhere where you can steal something that you can pass off to him, at which point then he can probably ditch you. Is the wheels going on in his little mouse brain.
Excellent. Okay. Well, okay. So with that being said, we've got some options here. The problem is, my options I'd have to come up with on the fly, and I don't know how much I want to do that. Because I was thinking it might be funny if you wandered into a different gang's territory. Oh God. Because there's 3 of them. But also, I do think that you're not identifiable as a Copper Fang right now. So, like, they wouldn't know. They would just kind of be like, whatever.
Right.
So, as fun as that would be, I don't think that makes sense in this
Although
particular
you'd probably
situation.
lose your Copper Fang escort.
True. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we'll say that for sure. Let's just say, like, that's what's happening. You're not being, like, attacked by them, but...
Right. Can Rizzo try to notice the fact that 2 seems to be followed by a gang here?
Oh, yeah. So, like, Copper Fangs?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think they're going to be pretty wily. So I'm going to say against their stealth. Ooh. They have stats.
Oh.
I wrote stats for these guys. And they don't have stealth. So you're going to roll a notice against their stealth. And then you can roll for my Copper Fangs, please.
Okay.
So that's flat on the old Dice-a-roonies.
Okay. Well, let's see what
I gave him a notice of 3.
Okay, so 3.
Okay, so this is a -1 though. So
Okay, so that's a net of 4.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. So that's a success with style. So that's a boost.
Okay.
So what do you want to do with that boost? Let's write a boost.
So
I don't have enough space for this boost.
yeah.
It's okay. It's for you guys, not for the camera. What do you want this boost to
we'd
be?
call the boost something along the lines of I know about them, but they don't know that I know.
Oh,
they
yeah,
don't know
yeah,
that I
yeah.
know about them, or something.
Okay.
Right?
Well, yeah. Let's see if I can fit this. And then we're gonna say that this is a boost. Okay, so this is our boost here. So if you want to create an advantage or overcome and that's relevant, then
Okay.
we'll use that later.
Good.
Cool. So yeah, so you wander into. Do you know the gangs, or you just know that there are gangs?
No, I think he knows
Okay.
them. I mean, he knows who to avoid. He
Yeah.
knows his way around
Yeah.
this area. I mean, he's never gone up the clock,
Sure.
but I mean, he knows
Yeah. So
how
then
to-
you would
where
recognize.
to go to keep himself out of trouble and
Yeah.
safe, and who he's got to watch out for.
You would recognize any of Pine's staff.
Mm-hmm.
They are dressed really nicely.
Mm.
Except for Pen, who's ripped off her sleeves for some reason. But like everybody else has a nice like suit on.
Pen wants to show off them guns.
Yes, she does. She's worked hard for them. You recognize the Copper Fangs because they wear a lot of copper and have their copper fangs. There's a gang called the Reapers. They dress in all black. And there's a gang called the Blood Needles. And I don't know. We'll just
And
Say they
are
look
all
cool.
3 of the gangs equally territorial and distrustful of each other, or are there any that are known antagonists, or is it all about the same?
Oh, good question. I was thinking about the same because specifically what they're trying to do in the gangs is like recruit the tourists that come in to stay to build up their territories
Okay.
and like
So like there's no faction that's currently at war with there's like an uneasy peace going on kind of thing,
and
they
it's
all
like kind of gangs versus Pine, but like
Right.
Pine has kept it like good for the last 5 years.
right.
So
Like the top dog keeping everything.
yeah, like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like always like simmering under the surface, but nothing's broken.
Yeah, keeping them and distrustful enough of each other that they don't band together,
Yes.
but not so much that there's
Yeah.
open warfare that
Yeah.
Pine would have. I got it. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
And again, all of their goals is like to get to the top of the clock tower. Some of them just want death and destruction, but
Yeah.
it's only a couple, only a handful.
So
Yeah.
Rizzo is going to be walking along, and as he's going, he's pointing out some of the various sites, and whether they're actual things or if he's just making stuff up, and just
Nobody knows.
spouting. And there is this place where Guido the Magnificent stabbed Chucky the Cheesemonger in a fight. And he's just blah, 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 just making stuff up. I mean,
They're real now.
Two is paying attention to what is being pointed at, but not also what is being said. So
Yeah.
it's like analyzing what everything is, but not like the word.
You're hearing like blah 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 blah.
yeah, Charlie Brown's teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and at one point he says, "Oh, excuse me, just a second there. You've got a spot of something on your shoulder." And he reaches over to brush it off and kind of leans in and says, "Don't look now, but you are being followed by some Copper Fangs. They are real assholes."
Really? Good to know.
All right. Stick with me, and we can ditch them.
Okay.
So,
Staying with them.
Yeah.
So, anyways, and he
Yeah.
continues going on with his little tour guidey kind of thing there, and he's very much playing the role of a tour guide, He's because you never know when other customers might see him doing this, and it's going to drum up
course.
business.
Yeah.
So he's pointing out, just dumb things, but making up these outlandish stories that, again, if two was sober, would be like, that does not.
That can't be
sound
true.
plausible.
Real at all.
If you want to be a real tour guide, you got to give a couple really bad jokes in there.
Oh yeah.
A couple
yeah.
puns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure that he
I
is.
might know.
Just a rough idea.
Just a rough idea. I didn't write my tours, so that's part of it.
You're like,
So Rizzo is going to try to ditch these Copper Fang guys,
Sure.
because two did not in any way say that they're
No.
they're with me and I know that's what's going on. So
Yep.
he's like, I
And
don't
two
know.
doesn't have any fangs, so
Right.
like
So I don't know why these guys are following you, but if they grab you, I'm not going to get any kind of loot out of this. So let's
Purely
ditch-
profit.
Yeah, let's ditch those guys before they recruit you into their gang, and then I've wasted the last half hour of my life.
time
So
is money.
yeah, so he. So I think Rizzo's plan would be to find an area that is under the control of one of the other gangs where these guys just can't follow without it being an issue,
Yeah,
an
yeah.
incident,
All
right?
right, yep.
And
Yeah.
that's where he's going to take a shortcut. He says, "Follow me. I know a shortcut to get to the upper levels." And
Right, you lead the way.
and he kind of toddles across the thing there, and he looks in like, he's being real cagey about it, like looking in reflective surfaces now that he's marked them to see if they're back there. And
Yeah.
they're not at all stealthy, so he's
They're
easily,
shiny.
yeah, like they got copper glinting all off of
Yeah.
them, so it's like they're
Yeah.
pretty obtrusive.
Yeah.
But in his mind, he's doing the whole super secret agent-y kind of thing where he's being slick about it and,
Yeah.
and watching. He as they go around a corner, right? He grabs two and pushes two into like an alcove kind of
good
thing
Lord.
there. Stay right there. Don't say a word. And kind of backs up against the thing. And yeah. And as when the Copper Fangs come around, he's going to make a beeline for the territory of, let's say the Reapers.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, the Reapers are let's say we're in an area nearby the Reapers, and he's going to kind of make a beeline there, and because he figures that they might try to stop us from getting into there before we go, so he does a little distraction there to let them get past, and then he's going to head back this way, and if they see him, we'll be far enough away that they can't stop us. That's his thinking.
2 falls.
Because he's clever. He's a clever little mousy guy.
Clever little guy. Let's do a stealth.
All
Let's
right.
see what that looks like. We'll just do stealth versus their notice, which the Copper Fangs don't have any notice. So they have high crafts and fight and physique. They don't have any of this other stuff.
Okay, fair enough.
There's not a lot of like espionage that goes on with the gang, so I
Right.
don't feel like
No, that's fair.
stealth is high.
Right. So it's a +2, a -1 on the dice, so it's a total of 1.
Okay.
I got a 2 total.
Okay. Well, they have a 0, but that's still a fail. Because if Copper Fangs got a 2 and you got a 1,
Was that for
that's,
2?
or is that for you?
That was for me.
That was for you.
Sorry.
So you get okay. Then let me roll. Well, I'll roll.
And I was like,
No,
I did not know I was rolling
no,
for
it's
them.
okay. I just got used to it. Just I'll thank you. I'll roll. Okay, so that's a negative. So they don't see shit.
Right.
Yeah. Ooh, God damn it. Every time. Don't look at me. Nobody look at me. Put the camera on somebody else. I'm like genuinely falling apart here.
The price of freedom.
I know. I get up and all everything falls apart. Okay.
Like, we made it so it is mobile at this point.
Well, I have a problem with my pants in which they do not want to hold up my microphone. And this is an ongoing issue, and I forgot my special tool today, so we're just dealing with it as it goes.
All right.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
So yeah. So absolutely, that's a negative. So
Yep.
you
So,
succeed by
so
1.
they kinda
you
walk
succeed by
past.
2.
And as soon as they're just far enough down the thing, come on! And he kind of double time, still, doing his little promenade,
Yeah.
but he's fast walking now,
Speed walking.
Yeah.
Just following behind to the best of his ability.
Yeah.
His stubby little mouse legs. But he's
Yeah. I love
and
it.
and they get to a street or a crossway or whatever that clearly is a border where you see some of the what are they, the Reapers?
Reapers.
The Reapers, the dudes all dressed in black.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say
And,
like even that area is like darker and like everything's
And
dingier.
they kind of duck past there, and get into the other gang's territory. And all right, Phew.
Thank you.
Those copper dicks aren't gonna follow us in here.
Good to know.
Yeah. So, tell me, and as they're walking, why exactly is it that you want to get up there?
Well, again, like I told you before, it's very tall.
It's very tall. Yes.
And I do like very tall places.
Right.
I get to see a lot of different places.
Yes. It's also a bit on the side of what we call dangerous, and you could probably see things from less dangerous places. So again, why do you want to go all the way up there?
Well, they may have my bag.
Who may
and
have your
other
bag?
Things
Oh,
that
the Copper Fangs have your bag. Oh, and like a light bulb dawns, and just an over-exaggerated comedic, Stuart Little kind of animated mouse. Little thing.
Maybe your imagination like forms a light bulb above your head.
Yeah.
Okay, that was very bright.
Oh, I see. The Copper Fangs have your bag. They were following you. You have to go all the way to the top because you want to get all the way up there and you want to drop something heavy on the Copper Fangs.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Ha ha! I'm very good at figuring out plans.
Damn it, pretty. I'm sorry, I'm I'm just thinking of just releasing a brick and it goes through the tower and just hits the road like it wouldn't do anything.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, well, I personally don't
yeah.
have much fondness for the Copper Fangs and their little. What's her name? What is her name?
Myra. I don't think Two knows this, but
Okay.
you could probably know this.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
think I don't think
Myra.
it's a secret.
Her name is Myra?
Myra, the Copper Fang lady, who I am not going to speak ill of because we may or may not have had a thing in the past.
I mean, she doesn't seem like the worst, but also,
Oh, she is the worst.
Yeah.
She is as bad as they get.
no, wasn't the best. But how did, no,
Let's go.
yeah, let's,
Do not
point
dwell
is-
on it.
No, point is, I would really love to get all the way up there, and thank you for getting rid of them because it's really annoying having a tail.
I beg your pardon.
I have a tail, but like people follow it.
Oh, yes, of course. I should have known. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
we tailed folks need to stick together.
Yes, but thank you, really.
Don't look at me.
All right. So at this point, Rizzo is actually kind of trying to think of okay, if I did want to go up there, how would I go about it? He's going to try to
Yeah.
actually make an effort now to find a place that'll head in an upward direction.
Let me ask you this, Rizzo. How did you come to become part of the Clock Underground? Because there was very few people that like originated the place as it was. Pine moved in with his family and a couple stragglers lived in the Clock, and that was the beginning of the Underground. And then it
Yeah, yeah.
expanded. People came in, they heard stories, blah, 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 and then we just grew from there. So I find it very rare to say that you might would have been one of the original ones. So if you came into here, like how did that occur? What led you to here?
I imagine there was probably some kind of cheese-related
Sure. Absolutely.
thing, you know.
Yeah.
Like
the
maybe
Is a huge
Wag.
cheese import or something?
Cheese wagon, I don't know.
Well,
Okay.
let's say that there was somebody in the library that was that had like some of those baby bells.
Oh, yeah. Yep, no.
And they were sitting there
that's-
eating at the desk, you know, and one of them fell and rolled under the clock. And Rizzo was kind of scoping it out, and when it, you know, when he saw that roll, he made a break for it and got underneath the clock. And let's say that before he was able to get the wheel of cheese, some of Pine's people picked it up and they took it, and now he's like, that glorious cheese. So he spent his like the last chunk of time here trying to figure out a way to get that cheese.
That's now
Oh, no.
totally gone.
It's
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
In his mind, that cheese is still here somewhere. That cheese was fated to be his.
Okay. Got
And
it.
so he's just making do until that opportunity to secure his glorious wheel of
was
I
an
love
ultimate
it.
spite that the cheese was taken.
laughing cow foil
Yeah.
wrapped cheese.
Wax wrapped even. Yeah, I love it. Okay, because I was thinking like ideally it's probably if you're on a mission, if Rizzo is like I am going for this cheese and not even thinking about anything else, then you probably haven't thought about how to get out of the Clock Underground in a while. But you had to go under the clock, directly under to get in.
Yeah.
Right. So then it would be like reverse your steps. Now it's probably expanded since then, but the stuff at the entrance hasn't changed. So you just basically need to find where the older stuff is, like go from the newer development to the older development,
Yeah.
and then you can find your way up.
Okay.
So that
All right.
would be, you know, the way that we go from
So there's
there.
not a way to get up from inside under. You have to go around to the outside.
No, you can get up, but like you have to get closer to the. So basically, imagine here, this is the clock, and this area right here is where you come in and out, and this is like the original underground, and then it goes further out.
Okay.
So that's why it's the underground has expanded past the clock column. In the actual library, or I guess in the actual diction, the clock underground is underneath 3 sections.
Oh, okay.
So it's very large.
Gotcha.
Big.
Is big. I my note for it is, hang on, let me see if I can find my note for because I Googled this for some reason. I said the clock underground is roughly the same size as a city like Pittsburgh or Cincinnati.
Woo!
So it's big.
Yeah.
But where you're at, so where 2 and the whole gang ended up was pretty close to the main thoroughfare, because Pine's office would have been close to the front, and the area that you had stopped after you had gone to Jade's shop would have been close to the front.
Okay.
Not right there, but
Right.
in the general kind of front area. So where 2 ended up is further in. But
Yeah.
I imagine you came back around.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
So you're
yeah.
like,
I mean, so let's say Rizzo kind of has an idea about all of this stuff and knows that you have to go back to there to get to the top end. So.
Yeah.
So he's been kind of leading the way. It's sort of a roundabout thing rather than just walking straight to.
yeah. Because
where-
the way that the pathways are built now are like circles on circles,
Yeah, yeah.
essentially. Maybe even some of the like gear shapes for some of like, that's what the houses form, is like the gears of it. If you were to take an x-ray of the clock underground from above, it would just look like a bunch of gears.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how magic works, baby.
Right.
It's my brain.
So so the whole time he just never ever is shutting up about anything, you know. And I imagine 2 probably is this is the first time 2 has experienced somebody who talks more than 2.
Yeah, 2's like tried to say words and he's like,
Yeah.
And also, you're very
Yeah,
cross-eyed.
it's like,
so you're like, the words are not
okay.
coming to you very quickly,
Right.
etc.
And just so this constant patter is going on here, that all the best con artists seem to be able to do, where they just keep talking and talking and talking until your resistances slip and they can
Yeah.
scooch
Scooch in.
in. So but as they're doing that, he's kind of leading a circuitous path around to get to a place where there would be a way to get up to an upper level. So
Absolutely. And I'm going to say you find it. I mean, there's a big kind of town square area, and then off to the side is almost built into what seems to be a tunnel. It's not a tunnel. It's like a big arch side, basically. And that, if you go up, will lead up into the tower. But it's so off to the side, so off out of the way, that it's not something that people congregate in. There's nothing there. It's just essentially an extension of the feet into the magic of underneath in the underground.
all right.
So it's curved.
okay. When we get there, he's going to point out.
Okay, so this is how you would go about gaining access to an upper level would be through a place much like this. How good are you in the art of climbing?
I'm actually very good at climbing.
He looks skeptical.
Now, I hold his fingers up, pull the toes out, and I'm like, I climb a lot. I tend to have a grappling hook with me, but it's also gone right now.
So you have
but
a bag and a grappling hook, and they're both gone. Yes, not at all suspicious there. Very well. So let us then proceed to make our way up to a higher elevation.
all right, just from here.
He points at like one of the spots along the wall.
Yes. In fact, just to test your climbing abilities, why don't we have you go first and identify all of the best footholds and handholds?
Okay.
And 2 just starts climbing up.
Yep.
All right.
And Rizzo is watching very carefully to see everywhere that 2 grabs and puts, because Rizzo is not
Yeah.
a good climber at all.
Yes.
2's like pretty methodical,
I think you
pretty
missed
fast.
a very good spot right there, but that's okay. No, you are quite skilled in the art of climbing, I must say. That's an impressive feat.
You're very confused and be like,
Okay.
Yes.
And once 2 gets up to the top, Rizzo's going to say,
While you're up there, have a look around and see if you can find any sort of a rope.
Oh, okay.
Does try to look around and see if there's a rope anywhere.
It's basically like almost organic. It's the extension of the wood of the clocks,
Yeah.
but it's in this setting. It's kind of organic and weird and I don't know, like a rock climbing wall. I think
But it's
that's
like,
fine.
No, there aren't really any.
All right. Well, I was not hoping to. I was hoping to get a rope for the next part, which is going to be much more difficult.
Oh, okay.
But all right, I'll be up very very shortly.
Do you need help?
What? No. Help.
Would you
I'm a
like?
mouse. I run up this clock.
I know you said so, but I mean, you could be tired. You did help me after.
Well,
you
yes,
get in.
I did have a long night, and I am a bit hungover. So, yeah, well, no. That's fine.
No,
That's fine. I can do this. Even in my incapacitated state, I'm sure I will have no difficulty.
Okay.
and he kind of, limbers up, kind of. Obvious the delaying kind
Two
of tactic.
looks down and there's like, no.
Oh no!
No.
Everything's swimming.
Yeah.
And Rizzo then grabs the wall and starts climbing up. But to anyone who was sober, it would be obvious that that he is really not particularly good at climbing whatsoever. But since he's saying,
I got a little bit of a cramp in my foot. Probably all that fancy booze I was drinking last night. You get a little bit dehydrated, and it causes the cramps. Ow. But that's all right. Don't worry. I'm doing fine. I'm doing
All
fine.
right. Yep.
he's just a string of excuses that he's spewing out there as to why it's taking him so long. But
Not
he eventually
questioning it.
gets up to the top and is like,
Okay.
That was invigorating. I feel much better now.
Okay. I mean, if you need help for the next part too, I definitely can.
Let's remember who is helping whom here.
No, yep. You are offering the. I just wanted, since you're doing this great deed for me, I wanted to at least offer the small thing that I could do for you.
Pish and tosh. Unnecessary but appreciated. Let us move on.
So you
and he
find.
once again starts
Yeah.
his little.
I think, Rizzo, that you would know this, even if you haven't done this a ton, is that there's a trapdoor that lets you inside the clock, essentially.
Okay.
So when you go in through the trapdoor, you peek your head up. There's no one right there, but the clock is a big tower.
Yeah.
Like huge and tall and dark. But the level you're on right now, you've come up in a little dark corner, so nothing to worry about. But you do see what appears to be 6 fairies who I think both of you would recognize as Pine's staff, essentially. They're dressed very nicely. They've got, I don't know what identifies. We'll say there's an iridescent pin on every person that like identifies them as Pine's
Like a little
staff.
pine cone.
No. And there's 6 of them, and they're looking not necessarily at that trapdoor, but they're looking at the main entrances. You can get in from the outside, like if you come outside of the underground and go in. There is like a direct ladder that people access up. That's how they get in.
Right.
They get in up and down through this main ladder.
But that's probably very well guarded. We would
It's
assume.
yeah, so they're like trying to keep people out of ascending higher into the clock tower. You have to have some kind of pass or permission or things to
Right,
get
right.
up higher. So that's where we find ourselves right now.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
part 1 completed.
All right.
Now let's look around for something that you can acquire that would justify my assistance with the next leg of the journey. Because I'm not going all the way to the top without getting some kind of recompense. I just can't do that. You understand?
Pays you
Because I will not be taken advantage of by someone who is appealing to my better nature.
I mean, I do very much appreciate it, and I understand business. So, what are you looking for that would assist us in going further?
Well,
And he looks around.
That's an aspect of the goons.
well, Pine has this staff.
And I invoke it.
If you could get that for me.
Get all 6 of them. Round it up.
So is this just like mainly an empty big space here? There's nothing really
Yeah.
of note here or whatever. It's just kind of like a pass through.
It's a pass through. How about because the pine/mahogany has been keeping this tower under wraps for, let's say, 5 or 6 years, that the staff has spent enough time that they've set up their own little, like, common areas.
Okay.
And we'll say that there's 2, one on each side. So it's a table, it's some chairs, it's some lockers, it's a chest with food in it, comforts.
Sure.
It's the break room.
It's the break room, and there's
Yeah.
2. And it's open. It's an open floor plan break room, but there's 2
Yeah.
of them. So one, I would say, close to you, but you will be seen, and then there's one on the opposite side where if you go across, everybody's gonna see you.
Right.
Well, let's see. That area over there, there might be something over there that's worth acquiring. Why don't you pop on over and see if you can discreetly have a look? I'll stay here by the trapdoor so that if you get caught, I can book.
Is there anything in particular that you're looking for? Like a rough idea? Anything?
Something valuable. It would help if it was shiny.
Oh, shiny?
I do like things that are shiny.
I can do that. Okay.
Need to look. Turns around. Can I actually look at him and be like,
Not that I want to brag, but when we broke up, Myra did give me one of her fangs. Oh, it was so shiny.
that's totally fair.
I lost it, but otherwise I'd show it to you because it totally happened.
looks at me and be like,
Right. Okay. I need to lie. Got it. I like it as truth, though. I think that's funnier.
And I'm like, I did want to thank you for helping me though, because I know that sometimes people probably don't help people down here. So I really do appreciate, even just with the Copper Fangs back there. I appreciate it.
And I think Rizzo kind of doesn't quite know what to make of that, because usually by this point he's already ditched people. He's never actually spent this much time with a client before, and so he's
Of course. I mean, you're hiring my professional services, so for me to treat you in any way other than a professional manner would be remiss on my part. So, of course, I will assist you. That's what you are paying me for as soon as you get around to paying me something.
Yep, I'm going.
and is gonna try to get over.
So, just to clarify,
Yes.
where you're at, we'll use little guides. So you guys are over here.
Yes.
There's a break room here, and then there's a break room here. So where are you going? This one? Okay, cool. So we're gonna do it against the Pine Staff's notice. I imagine you're doing a stealth roll here.
Yeah, unless I can convince you it is burglar, because I am technically going in to burgle some stuff.
I'm gonna say your Candy Cross Faded says otherwise.
God damn it!
I normally would give that to you.
I had to try.
But I think because you are seeing double
No,
or
that's
like hearing
fair.
things and like seeing stuff that's not there, so it's going to be noticed against stealth, and they don't have a notice because again, why would they? I need to get my own dice. I have my own dice somewhere. I'm gonna grab this.
It's +2.
+2.
It's a 4 total.
I'm gonna steal
I got an extra
somebody-
set here if you want them here.
I'm just gonna steal somebody else's dice.
Okay.
Actually, I think Hannah technically has my dice because of the red.
Right.
Okay, so we'll do. Nobody can see the table anyways, so. Okay, so they don't have a notice, and that's a negative. So -1. What did you get? 2?
I got a 4 total.
4.
Yeah, because I have
Jesus
plus
Christ.
2 and
So that's a 5. That's a shift of 5. Oh my god. That's
2 pops. Like, it does not matter how crossfaded he is. 2 still pops his hood over. He smacks his chest, which does hurt a little bit, but it changes to the color of the wood, and he skitters off.
I'm going to give you 2 boosts for this because this is above a success with style, because a success with style is a 4. Actually, I'll give you 2 free invokes on this
Okay.
boost. So what do you want to call this boost? Just invisible?
Yeah.
I feel like this is just invisible.
I am the knight.
And I know this is probably not gonna come up, but so this is still not a scene aspect. Like once you use both of these boosts, it goes away.
Yeah.
Just as a clarification. Because normally if there's free invokes on something, it still stays after you use the free invokes. This goes away when we're done with it.
Okay.
So, yeah, so you're functionally invisible right now. And I will say maybe even a little bit of your imagination is leaking out and like camouflaging you. Maybe not necessarily
like even darker.
yeah, like you're really, and I think that that's still relevant. It's still dark in this tower. Like the lights of the clock underground are part of all of it. And the grandfather clock itself doesn't have any inherent lights in it. It's not a fancy, it's just like a beautiful clock. So poor Filament cannot keep up. So it's dark in a lot of places. There's a lot of shadowy little pockets. And so you end up going to, and we'll even say that the staff is not necessarily, they're not worried about the break room right now.
Yeah.
All 6 of them are looking around. Maybe even one of them has like binoculars that they're like looking through. There's a area in the ground that's open that they can see the square where all of the people congregate and come in and out of the entrance. So they're really focused on that. 2 of them are whispering to each other. So you are not noticed. What do you want to do? What do you want to find?
Looking for some shiny things, which is like heightened as hell because shiny is easy to distinguish
Yeah.
even when you're crossfaded. So I'm looking.
Shine is probably just what you see when you're
Yeah,
cross-faded.
honestly, it's like, oh, everything's a little bit hazy. Oh, that's shiny, and
Yeah.
probably finds a broken needle tip because
Sure.
they're not gonna use a needle that's broken.
No.
But there's a broken needle tip there.
That's not good weaponry.
There'd be a tiny little like, you know, the Polly Pocket size spoons and stuff. So it's like
Sure.
it's small even for them.
Yeah.
So he's gonna grab that, and then he's also going to see a spring, and he's gonna grab the spring as well, and he's gonna.
I'm also going to give you a brooch that the staff wears.
Okay.
Because you're in the break room.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you have their ID badges basically in there? I'm only going to give you 1.
Okay.
But I will say absolutely you grab that as well.
All right. It is shiny too.
It's
so.
shiny. It's a like, I don't know what it's made out of because it needs to be small, but I'm picturing, so pine has dragonfly wings, iridescent dragonfly wings. So I'm picturing something similar to that, but
Nail polish flakes.
great. Love it. Done.
Glitter.
Both.
Yeah.
Like some fairy meticulously made these badges. And I don't know, maybe a bobbler or 2. But so that's what you find in their break room.
Okay.
I am going to say that unless you purposefully are like done with it, you're gonna be basically functionally invisible.
I'm not done.
Yeah,
It's
and
gonna
so-
stay like this as long as possible.
Yeah, for sure. And I think you can use it if you're creating an advantage or overcoming something in the next couple actions. So
Awesome. Cool.
but yeah. So that's what you find. I mean, I imagine you just go back to Rizzo and
Yeah.
you're like, here. You can't really see me. Here's my hand.
Like skitters back and everything stands up and is like, here you go. And has He would offer the broken needle tip and the spring.
Rizzo is just like jaw agape, like.
Well, that was that was a fairly decent effort, I must say. I had no idea that you were quite as skilled in the art of obtaining things as that. Oh, I must say I am even slightly impressed, and I do not impress easily, my good friend.
Oh, thank you.
What did you get me?
So I found a broken needle tip.
Look at how shiny it is.
And then also a full spring. These are really hard to find. Yeah.
It squishes. That is amazing.
Also, probably you said that, but I did find one of their symbols too, so like, we have that too.
And his mind is blown. and then he just kind of like freezes, and it's like an uncomfortably long time that he just does not move. He's just staring at this thing to the point where you're almost like, are you okay? And like his imagination that kind of sparked the little light bulb above before, as he's kind of like just paralyzed looking at this thing, all of a sudden like a little like thought bubble cloud pops above his head. Like he's not aware it's happening, but you see like a little vision shows up there, and you see him, and he's got this badge affixed to his chest, and he's carrying this big giant wheel of cheese. which means nothing to you.
That would look incredible. Like you're just like, is that
you?
No.
That's so funny. I love that. Absolutely. Oh, this is going to cause problems for me in the future. I love it.
I'll tell you what. We are paid in full.
Oh.
This
And he kind of slips it into his like pocket there, and he takes the spring and says,
you can even have this back. I don't even need that anymore.
Okay.
I'll keep the needle tip though, because it's very shiny. And he puts that in another pocket. All right. Well, let us see.
and he kind of looks around and he's trying to formulate a plan as to how to get up to the next level here.
Yes. If you're going to get, you have to go past the staff.
Yes.
The goons.
He says,
I think what we are going to need is some sort of a distraction.
Oh.
If we can divert their attention, then we can make a break for the ladder and make our way up.
Okay.
Unless you have a better plan.
No, I mean, a distraction. I could probably do a distraction. Yeah.
Okay. So, no. What are we doing? Because, so this is going to fall into, we had talked about this ages ago. If you're using imagination of some kind, which I imagine you are using imagination.
Yes.
What a sentence. That the intention of the magic is going to be what skill we use. And so whatever you are putting out needs to be what I am rolling against on the part of the staff. And I have two different ways to do this as far as how I roll. Right now, I'm just going to roll them all as one. And we'll just go from there.
Okay. It would.
I might give them a +4 because there's 6 of them. I should give them a +6, but I'm going to say 2 of them are not paying attention.
Okay. So I would probably deceive.
Okay.
Because gonna try to make it look like something is coming out, like in front of them, away from.
Oh, okay. I would argue that might be a provoke.
Provoke?
Yeah. Because you're not necessarily having it is deception of some kind, but the goal of it is to
I mean, the goal is to
get them to move.
The goal of them is to not look away. The goal of them is to the goal is to get them to look that way to deceive them from looking away.
Like if I'm doing this,
yeah.
regardless of whether I'm doing this or I'm waving a flag, I'm still provoking you to look in that direction. I'm not lying to you.
No, that's true.
If-
I mean, the thing itself is the lie,
Sure,
though.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
But if I went up to you and said, "Hey, did you know that this door is open and you should go and close it?" That's different than if I made a noise at the door.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's why I'm arguing that it's
Okay.
It's a provoke.
That's fair.
If you want to use deceive, I'm gonna say you have to stand there and speak.
Alternate form for deceive. You said that there are entrances there. Like,
To-
there are entrances in the main area
To up or down?
to like down.
Both, yeah. There's
Yeah.
a ladder down that almost goes like directly into. I'll say it goes onto a statue that's in the center of the town square. So
Okay.
like the people that have main access know that that's how you get up. But
To make it look like all of the like trapdoors and all of the things that they are guarding right now look like they're opening up.
are you actually opening them?
No.
Okay.
It's just making it look like they are. Making it appear like that. With it deceive or still provoke?
I still think that's a provoke.
Okay. I don't have shit in provoke, so
Which
I mean, you're invisible. You could just walk over and open them.
also true, and
that's
that's
actually true.
That's yeah, and if you wanted to add a +2 to your roll, I'll give you the boost on that.
Okay.
Like so that would be what the function of this is, right? So whatever action you're doing and I'm rolling against, you can reroll or give yourself a +2 because you
Gotcha.
can use that boost for
Yeah,
it.
it's like spending a fate point, but you don't have to spend it.
Yeah,
right?
correct.
Instead, you invoke.
But when
that.
we use both of these boosts, it goes away, whereas these guys stay forever. You get what I'm?
I get what
putting
you're
down?
saying.
Okay.
This one's probably gone. That you don't know that I know because.
Yeah, because the Copper Fangs are not really around anymore.
Tell you what, go half and half. I'll go up and open one of them, and then use imagination to open up the rest.
But you're using it. You're like genuinely opening it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think that that's a provoke.
Okay. I've tried every single way to do this.
I don't.
deceive,
I
but-
think if you were to use deceive, again, I think you need to be speaking.
have to be speaking. No, like I'm saying, like
I
does
just
have
find
to
it
be
very
speaking?
difficult to argue otherwise.
Okay. I just don't
Now,
have shit to provoke.
I will let you use deceive if we do this as a 2-prong. So you have to roll a success on the first roll and then roll a success on whatever order we want to do it on the deceive. So I would say like I will give you the sheer act of opening it. So physique and then the deceive.
Okay.
So you have to roll good on both of
Both
those.
of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
To make that work. So I will give you the deceive in that particular instance.
I'll do that. Because I think that's the best of the options
Okay.
I have.
All right. So let me roll first. I'm just going to roll their notice. I feel like that's probably going to be the best option for me here. So we're just going to roll their notice. I'm going to add a +4 to it because, like I said, I'll say 4 of them are noticing what's happening. Jesus Christ. So that's 2 negatives. So that's a 2. Okay. So that's a 2. So you have to beat a
Okay.
2. And I'm going to say that the notice is for the it's for the combo because you need to do well on the physique to then do the
Yeah.
deceive.
Okay. So that is a +2
Okay.
for the physique.
Yep. Yep. It's a door. It opens. Yeah.
2 is also injured.
I know you were injured but I think a 2 opens a trap door pretty easily.
Okay. Oh. Oh. Okay, so I want to propose this to you.
Yeah.
Can I make it look like they all, like, I blast them all open? And here's why. Because I got a 5.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that's a shift of 3. But if you wanted to use a boost, that'd give you a shift of 5. Yeah, absolutely, for sure. I'm gonna mark off this boost though. And again, let me clarify. You are making it like an illusion of them blasting open. They're not actually blasting open, or are they actually blasting open?
So for the deceive, do they actually have to blast open, or can they?
No,
just...
I think the
Yeah.
deceive
Yeah, it's
intention
just
of it,
gonna-
I think one trapdoor is open for sure, and then the rest, like maybe
Yeah,
maybe your
that's-
imagination like echoes the thing you actually did.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Perfect.
Because,
Cool. Can you?
two doesn't actually sorry.
Sorry. I don't want to break it. Sorry. Can you walk me through what that like looks like, in your candy cross-faded state?
Yeah, sure. Because I have a feeling to 2, it does look like he probably tore the door off, even though he's just like, whoop. And as he does that, he thinks, well, I want to make it look like the same for everyone. And that's going to look like every single time. There's a ripple of every single door popping off
Yeah.
with a bunch of the dark navy
Yeah, magic that
magic.
goes through.
Yeah.
Perfect. I love it. It spooks the staff. One of them does the thing that cats do when they get scared, like does a little jump for that. And yeah, I think that's where we're at. As far as like now they are certainly in an uproar. They are clamoring over each other. They're yelling. They're like,
Two just
slips
through and is
figuring
like,
out
this is
what's going on. Figure it out. We're under attack.
Is that enough of a distraction?
Who are you, man?
I'm out of my depth, man.
That
Yeah. Let's go.
okay.
We gotta tell Pine. We gotta go.
this action will definitely have consequences.
Okay. Cool. So you go up the ladder, and it's almost darker in here somehow, but there's like
fine.
beams of light that you can kind of see. So what you see is essentially two-ish levels. You look way up, and like it is just now you are seeing all of it. And where you're at right now, on another kind of like slight lift above you, is 2 hovels on the side, for 2 fairies. Like you can tell that they lived here. They lived here for a while. And then above that is what looks to be just layers and layers upon layers of gears that magically are now at that point. Like they don't function. They don't function the clock. They are just expanded gears of the.
This is that one
clock.
jumping level in every video game
Yes,
that you just hate.
Exactly. Great, but it's above the hovels, so
Okay.
it is not connecting the hovels in any way. So the hovels aren't connected, but you do see that on both sides there is something interesting about each kind of hovel area. The hovel on the right, there is string that it doesn't look like a web at all. It's just haphazard, and it's very clearly some kind of string and not spider silk that makes it so that it's a net that you can't get up into the gear section. Very clearly like stopping you from going up higher. And then on the left is just walls of lint roller sheets.
Okay.
So very clearly like don't go here, don't come here. So both of these fairies have very clearly made it so that you aren't coming into their home. You aren't going further up the tower to fuck with their home more. They are very anti-tourism, let's just say.
Two looks at the thing and he's like,
I mean, you weren't joking about the rope that would have helped here, but I bet they didn't know how to tie properly.
pointing at the They're just pointing at the, not web, but
Yeah, the string. It's
yeah.
just like a string maze.
And he's like, I bet I could probably untie that pretty easily.
Really? Well, I certainly will defer to your expertise after having seen what you are capable of.
Oh, okay.
And is gonna go over to the thing.
Yeah, you got to climb up a little bit because
Yeah.
it's a little like indent hovel, and it's
I will keep a lookout, and so he's gonna like keep an eye for if these dwellers of these hovels come out to see what's going on
Yeah,
or
for
something
sure.
to either warn to or distract them or whatever.
absolutely. So you climb up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say that the string, as haphazard as it looks, is like magically anchored.
Okay.
Like they made like little, you can tell it's made of imagination, but
Yeah.
they're like little, I don't know, pikes that go into the wall. Is that what they call it
Pythons.
when they're, yes, that's the word I was looking for.
Are
with
there any
climbing.
spots that you could like untie so just it comes?
I think that you're going to have to roll for that.
That's fair.
I think that's fine and valid. And I'm going to say that that is a difficulty of 5.
For crafts?
Sure.
Cool. The dice say that's a 3 total.
Okay. What are we doing with that?
I am gonna look at it, but I'm. As he looks at it, the strings start wiggling again in his vision. He's like, half the brain is working really, really, really well, and the other half is like absent, and it's really hard. It's like, okay,
The string
no.
starts talking to you.
And you're like, no.
Play with us, dude.
Cat's cradle, cat's cradle.
Cradle, dude.
No, there's too much going on over there.
They're so fun, too.
Just wrap us around your fingers and then go like this,
No,
and then go like this.
That's a little bit too much going on over there. So let's go.
So we'll say right now that you're like climbed up the wall,
Yeah.
and you're like picking at the string, and when you pick at the string, it kind of like twangs a little bit. I don't think like ominously. It's just
No.
kind of like ding dong, dong,
Yeah.
dong, dong, it was really tightly
She was just like,
put into the wall, and you're like,
not
"Ugh."
working easily.
And that's
Leans back a
part
little
of
bit
why
from
the
his-
like
yeah.
string starts talking to you. It sounds like the twanging, and you hear a little voice from behind the door. It's like, who goes there?
He looks at.
Rizzo's going to reach into his pocket. He's going to grab that little pine badge.
Yeah.
Ahem. Security. We need to do an inspection by the order of Pine.
You just did one last week.
Yes. This is a surprise re-inspection. Nobody expects another inspection this close after the previous inspection. That's why it's a surprise and you aren't prepared for it.
Some of these are looking real loose. Not even looking at it. Like they're real loose.
Why are you touching my thing? I don't remember this guy's voice. He has
Inspection.
inspection. Oh no! I don't want to be inspected again. I just did this. The last Penn was so mean to me.
Yes. Well, when they want to really be mean, they send us. So you better let us inspect this.
I need to.
I think you're going to have to come out and at least tell us what not to use because these look very nonsensical.
Which one's not to use? Yeah, let me find my description for this guy because I've forgotten what he looks like. But I don't know. Maybe he could be a different guy. I just like doing callbacks to the guys.
I mean, if you want to do it the same, that'd be the same guy.
It's the same guy. I don't remember how I described him. I think I said that he was like short. Let me see if I can find my actual description. Boise, I have too many guys. Is the
Too many little
problem.
guys to keep track
I have
of.
too many little guys to keep
Oh
track of.
no, it's the curse of too many little guys.
Okay, there we go. The door opened like really slowly, and there's described as a teeny itty bitty little fairy who has very cool toned everything, but is wearing a brown vest and really spiky hair, and a big pout on his face. I just put on a cup of tea.
Well, we do not wish to interrupt your tea. We just need to inspect the other side of this to make sure that it is also secure from the top, coming into the downward direction.
I mean, if the knots and everything are too loose, then it's just gonna all fall down. And I mean, look at it. And
He thinks about it for like pauses for just a small second, and then he like yanks on it and makes it shake a lot.
Sure.
and he's like, see, I mean, it's not going to help anyone. If anyone bigger than myself, or it'll fall down.
And like inconsolable now. And you guys can poke around and do whatever you want. Are you going into his hovel?
I mean, we haven't been invited.
Rizzo is going to.
Yeah.
Rizzo is going to he's putting on the airs of
Yeah.
absolute authority here. He's like, he works for Pine. by
Yeah, for
God.
sure.
I must be the meanest of Pine's thugs because I'm so small.
Sure.
I mean, the big intimidating ones, well, they're
Yeah.
big and intimidating.
The soft ones.
Yes.
Dude follows along. He's a trainee.
Yes.
Great, love it.
Now, when you are dealing with folk like this, you must always let them remember that you are in charge, trainee. So why don't you tell this individual here to tell them something that lets them know that you're in charge.
Well, I mean, I really need you to know that we need to make sure that these are.
No! With more authority! More authority! Trainees. It's so difficult to get good help these days, but I'm responsible for making sure this person becomes an upstanding member of the staff. So, would you try to look a little bit frightened and intimidated, please?
Like, just looks sadder.
Try it again. Try it again.
His arms doesn't look any more intimidating.
Meaner.
Oh, don't hurt yourself there. Gotta pop a rib.
The knots are not tight enough, and if they're not tight enough, then it's all gonna fall down, and it's gonna be a problem. Was that good?
That was very good. And we don't want any problems, do we?
No.
Now, what do you think needs to happen so that we can inspect the upper level of the
Well,
blockade?
if you look here, like these are very loose, and I mean I know they're attached with imagination, but imagination wears down over time. So you really either got to keep track of it, or it's gonna fail. So what you're gonna want to do is you're actually going to want to attach it with something physical, or you're gonna attach it to something physical. Like up there, you see how there are some loops and stuff up there. If you attach it to that, man, that would be real tight. It would be really tight. And then you could get. And it would protect so much better. And then you could even do different layers. So if someone doesn't know what's going on, then you could actually they would fall right through. So it would keep them out when they're not supposed to be there. But if they're supposed to be there, then they know what to do.
And while all this is going on, Rizzo is looking around if there's anything here worth stealing.
Sure, absolutely. So this is, it's just a little hovel guy.
Yeah.
And has a whole cabinet full of different types of teas, and soup, teas and soup, and just is a guy.
It's just a guy.
He's just a guy.
All right, so
Now, if
Rizzo's
you had
not
gone to
interested
the
in-
other side,
Rizzo's not interested in teas, nor is he interested in soup, so he's...
And, it's like, and I mean, if you really want it, you can do a frame, and then you can add a spring to it, and then it go, and then it would capture people who don't know it's there. Like two is just getting real into it and real.
yeah. That crossfade is getting you
Yeah.
real weird.
And Rizzo is kind of looking at you a bit confused as to how is this helping our goals, but doesn't want to say anything because you've proven yourself to be competent, so giving you a little bit extra rope there.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So the goal here is we are just distracting this fairy because, or you're trying to like find an alternate
We're trying to find a way to
up?
get around to the top of this. That's why
Yeah.
Rizzo keeps
Yeah.
saying, we need to inspect the top and make sure
I
that it's
see.
secure for coming
Yeah.
down, so
I'm
make
gonna-
that happen for us.
I'm going to say because you entered into the hovel, it's like you can see that the way the string is set up, there's like a clear path you could walk on to get up to the gears from inside the hovel. Because if the door is closed, like you can't get
Yeah.
there. And I think that just becomes obvious the more you're just like talking about it.
Right.
I don't think that this fairy points it out to you. I don't
Okay,
think they
yeah,
but I think it's just very clearly like
Yeah.
it's a different type of string material, or it's like very much like you look at it and you're like, oh, there's the path.
Yeah, once
like,
Rizzo stops looking around for stuff to steal because there's only tea and soup. He looks around
He's in my pantry.
and like again the little light bulb goes off.
I love this about him.
I mean,
And then like
if
the
you
little
use different parts of string and stuff, you could send this to next level.
Trainee,
Yes.
I think, excuse me, good citizen, we are going to go up and inspect the top of the thing to make sure that it is secure from there. We'll just go this way if that's all right with you. Come, let's go this way. Flash the badge a little bit more prominently and make his way over to where the obvious path leading up is.
yeah, follows along
Like
with
you gotta tightrope walk it because it's a piece of string, but
Sure.
it's pretty easy and it's not like you fall through or anything like
Yeah.
that.
Look forward. Don't look
Don't
down.
look down.
Forward.
The string is talking to you. Okay, cool. So you make it up to the next kind of like cross section, which is all of the gears. I will say all orientations, because again, they are not functioning this clock here.
Sure.
And this one has. Actually, what are my aspects that I have right now? Like, no, that one's done. So the clock gears, we're using this one, and we're using.
Encouraging darkness.
Yeah, that one's permanent. Because it's just gonna be like, especially as you get up higher. I'm gonna say that like it's nighttime at the library, so it's just dark as you get up higher. So the gears are rhythmic. They just don't all move at the same rhythm, but you could figure out
Sure.
the rhythm. That's why that's
Yep.
the aspect on the gears.
Okay.
So, you have to make your way like through them to get to the top of the clock tower.
Oh, I always hate this part.
He says, and to anyone who is sober, it would be
Yeah.
obvious that
never
he has
done
never
it.
seen this, and he's like, I have no idea what to do here.
So, I think that the best way to approach this would be if we could figure out a way to jam the gears up and make it all go to a grinding halt. And then we just walk right up.
Wouldn't that get us noticed?
Oh, yes, you're right. It probably would. See, I've never had to sneak my way up here before. Whenever I've done tours in the past, I was able to get the proper permissions. So
Right.
I've never been contracted by a obvious criminal mastermind before. So since you're an obvious
what?
criminal
No!
mastermind, perhaps you have a better idea how we can go about getting up here.
What? I'm not. No, I am
Oh,
not.
please, I saw how you snuck it and stole from those staff members of the... Don't try to tell me that you are not a master thief. Clearly, you are.
I'm a finder. That's that's
Oh,
why.
yes, you're a finder, of course, yes.
I not.
Well, then why don't you go ahead and find a way to get it past these gears for us?
I mean, it's consistent. It keeps going the same. You know,
Does it?
yeah. It tick, 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 and the black it goes the same thing. Tick, 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 tick.
I guess I had not noticed that.
I mean, it's really, it keeps going in the same way. So I mean, if you're careful about where you step and when you step, then it's not going to be an issue.
Kind of an issue. Mice don't have a good sense of rhythm. Watch.
Uh-huh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
4, 5, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Oh. Okay. If you can follow.
Cannon.
I'm writing it down for all the rest of my mice.
We can. Do you think if I do the thing, you can do the same way as me? If I like.
If you tell me when to step, I could probably step when you tell me to. But if you're expecting me to count out things
No,
in my
no.
head, that would not go well at all.
No, nope, not that. But if you step, the same time, I'll just say step, step, step. And if you can do that at the same rate, I think we can get through. Yes.
I'm willing to give it a try, Master Thief.
I'm not a master thief.
Oh, please. False humility is ill becoming one of your skills.
Okay,
After this is done, I want to talk to you about some cheese.
I mean, I could probably get you cheese if that's what you really want. I'm very good at finding unusual and weird requests. It's kind of my thing. But let's go.
Okay, so what are we doing here? And I think this might be an opportunity to create an advantage because I think you have to do something to then travel correctly, right? So I almost feel like this is creating advantage on/for Rizzo
Yeah.
in this particular instance, because I would let you invoke the aspect of rhythmic to like successfully do what you need to do, but we need to create an advantage here for Rizzo. So I don't know particularly what you think that would need to be.
So here's the idea, because I know we have talked in some respects about like Two's ears way back when.
Yeah.
I imagine like, even though he's not like, he's trying not to look at it because every time he looks at it, it gets very distracted because it's very like, it's
Hypnotizing.
hypnotizing and soothing. It would be
Yeah.
hypnotizing and soothing for normal too.
Yeah.
So he's watching and like his ears start twitching on the beat, and like keeps that ticking beat.
I want to
going on.
reiterate that the gears aren't all moving at the same rate.
But like as he's going to the different ones, like going to one of them and then reaching the point where he's on a different gear and then switching to the next one's beat and then going on to that and then calling out step when his ears twitch down for Rizzo.
So what are we creating the advantage here with?
I feel like it would probably be rapport with Rizzo at this point, trusting, because Rizzo would have to trust. I don't know what better one.
Yeah, so I think that's fine. I'm gonna say that to make this advantage work, I think Rizzo's gonna have to roll a will, opposed will for this.
Okay.
How about if Rizzo does the active thing and tries to use empathy to follow? Empathy or notice. Yeah, probably empathy is more emotional.
Empathy is
than
more
notice.
emotional, yeah. Well, I mean, I would even argue that you could do rapport v rapport. I think that's also fine and valid. Empathy, I kind of have like
Yeah.
opposed deceive.
Right.
You don't
right.
have to. Again, none of this is set in stone, but like that's kind of the direction with empathy. So I would say either will or rapport.
Okay.
I mean, again, I could even just do rapport v rapport for that, and
So we both have to succeed at a rapport roll?
I'm
2 has to
rolling.
succeed against you
Okay.
to create the advantage.
Okay.
Like, I think it just has to be like slightly stronger to create
Okay.
the advantage here.
Okay.
All right, let's see what we get.
That is just a 3 because the dice rolled a neutral.
Mm-hmm.
And can I use my babyface aspects at a +2? So it'd be a 5.
Yeah, sure.
Don't roll above a 5. Yeah.
That's flat. My rapport is a 2.
Okay.
So it's a 2.
So 2? Perfect. So that's a success of 3.
Cool.
So that gets you an advantage with 2 free invocations. So we'll say, I don't know, follow the ears. I like that.
Follow the ears.
Follow the ears.
Gears for gears.
Oh, that's better, but too late. Okay. So we've got so we got 2 free invokes. And I will say, I mean, I would let this aspect come into play outside of the gears too. I'll
Okay.
say your ears notice something before you do.
Okay.
So, but I do think that we're going to have to do an athletics to get through this.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So if we need to invoke follow the ears, let's do that.
Right.
Yeah. So athletics, and the gears are going to roll athletics against you
Okay.
because they're magical gears that
That's
aren't actually connected
fair.
to the clock. So I'll roll the
Gears
gears
suddenly
first.
become spiteful.
Yeah, I'll roll the gears first so you guys
Okay.
know what to roll against. So that's just a, well, no, that's a plus, and so that's a 4.
Yikes.
So roll against 4. Okay, feel
Yep.
free.
Yep.
And you can invoke your own ears.
Well, the rhythmic would work for you, and that's
Yeah.
a permanent one, so
Yeah.
you can always do that.
Yeah, can
Yeah.
I invoke rhythmic?
Yeah.
Just to full re-roll that? Holy
Yeah.
heck. Got distracted. Oh my god, it's worse!
Oh no! 2. You've got so many fate points, my dude.
I do! I've been hoarding them!
You have been hoarding them.
I'm trying to think how I would be able... Okay. Could I actually invoke my high concept, because it's like everything is going all kinds of crazy and vision starts swinging, but headstrong, stubborn, gonna get through this. We're almost there.
Yeah.
We're not gonna stop now.
Yeah.
Please. Okay, the dice have spoken. I got a 2.
Okay. I mean, Rizzo, are you even going to try to attempt this if 2's not going up?
Well, I think
I mean, I guess I could try to follow the ears. I don't know
You
what that
could,
would
so
do.
you've got 2 options here I can see. You can invoke follow the ears, like you like pay attention to your own body, and we could re-roll that again. Or you could succeed at a cost.
I'll succeed at it.
Okay.
Succeed at a cost.
Okay, we're going to succeed at a serious cost.
Wait.
It doesn't have to necessarily be a consequence. It just can be something that's like a narrative cost here
Okay.
as well. I know I've been kind of leaning consequence with serious cost just
Because I was going to ask
easier.
then, would the mild consequence, would the scene for the singed wings be over at this point? That's the thing.
I think it just happened, so I'm going to
Okay,
say no.
cool. Yeah, then-
because we're still in that situation. But again, it doesn't. Serious cost does not have to be a consequence.
I'll do the cost.
Yeah. So what would you say that like narrative cost would be? Did you think of something?
Yeah.
Do you have an idea? I don't have an idea.
I have a vision of a mouse kind of falling down through the gears. So 2 makes it through, but Rizzo does not.
We just met this guy. I mean, that's up to you.
He's a
two.
guest star, man. He's not a recurring character.
2 legs collecting friends.
That's true. You've unfortunately unleashed the beast of 2 legs hoarding fairies. That's up to you. I will let you decide if that's a serious cost you want to do or not. You don't have to. We can maim and injure.
Oh yeah, that's so much better.
Hey, listen, if you're dragging a mouse around, it's gonna make things harder for you when we get up to the spider.
I will take maim or injure, but I'm not. If you start falling, 2's gonna try to grab you.
Yeah, so that's too much narrative cost. Okay, so
unfortunately, leap into action. 2 wouldn't even think about it.
yeah,
You'd be like,
just go. Yep, and you don't even have your grappling hook.
nope.
Okay,
All right.
so then like get caught between gears.
So let's say that so let's say 2 stumbles in your and you, like the rhythm is off and 2 almost falls.
The bell
and-
rings. The
and-
chimes.
Yeah. And Rizzo has been just kind of blindly, when the ears twitch, step. When the ears twitch, step. And then all of a sudden, 2 loses balance, almost goes, and Rizzo, without thinking, steps, but it was the bad timing, and 2 managed to catch their balance, but Rizzo, with no sense of rhythm whatsoever, misstepped and falls, and his the tails on his long jacket that he wears, get caught in between the gears, and they start pulling him down. He's like, ah! And he, let's say that before you know it, he's like gone between the gears, and he's down underneath them.
Okay.
And for a second, you think there's no way
Yeah.
to survive that. And then he says,
I'm all right, but I don't think I'm getting out of here anytime soon.
What are you? What? Where are you?
I got caught in the gears, and let's just say that you're now the only one with a tail. I'll try to get myself out of here, but you go on ahead. I'm not going to be any help to you from this point, and your mission is too important to fail. Go ahead. I'll be fine.
I'm not going to leave you.
Yes, you are, because we do not have time. You have to go on ahead and complete your mission so you get back your bag and your grappling hook, and then you and I are gonna score the biggest wheel of cheese you've ever imagined to. Go, I say, go. I'm fine. I just have to get myself out of here.
and like his little hand kind of pops up, and he waves and just goes,
Go.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Sure.
Okay, so 2, you stumble and your rhythm is off, but you make it up through the nasty video game gear level, and you get up to the top of the clock tower, and you can see the moonlight shines through the face of the clock from the inside, and it only illuminates a little bit, and you can see that there is a ton of webs everywhere. Spider webs just cover floor to ceiling. This is years of work.
Yeah.
And then you hear I don't know if this would be the first thought you have, but it's definitely a creature of some kind, right? You can hear it rustling in the far corners, far away from you. And the moonlight glints off of the reflective webs, and you see a shoom across all the eyes of a spider. And this spider is gigantic. Like, the eyes alone are humongous.
Okay.
And I think because of where we've been and what we're doing, and it's 6:51, I'm going to pause this here, and we'll have a 2 in spider adventure top of the next episode.
Gosh.
Yeah. Because you also have to get back down.
Yep.
So put Rizzo in the filing cabinet for now. We'll see what happens with Rizzo.
Back for you, Rizzo.
I don't think 2's going to let Rizzo go.
No.
But that's where I'm going to leave us there. The image of 2 standing, looking up at all of those eyes. And Liz collapsed on the table. Okay, we're going to stop this steampunky music, and I'm just going to say thank you for watching Health Hits Experience. Special shout out to our live viewers, but also special shout out to those who are watching on the VODs. We love you. We miss you. Please come back. Thank you for watching. Music and sound effects provided by Sirenscape and Abby Kopic. Thank you. Special thanks to Molly Cook, Brian Bowersox, and Abby McCauley in the control room. Special thanks to Community Access Media for the use of their facilities and equipment. And thanks to you for watching. Come back next week and see what new characters we have in store, because who knows what's going to happen next week. We'll see you later. Goodbye.